In the far darkness between forgotten stars, a fleet slept. For hundreds of years, the ships drifted in silence, their black metal bodies covered in dust from dead comets. No lights, no engines, no signs of life. The galaxy had almost forgotten. Them rumors whispered through alien taverns that these ships were human war machines, built for a war that ended before most species had learned to walk in space. They said the fleet had fought once, long ago, and then vanished hidden in the graveyard of suns. But tonight, something changed. A single signal cold, sharp, and coded cut across the void. One by one, the ships woke. Engines hummed with a low growl. Red lights blinked in the dark like hunting eyes. Metal hulls trembled as ancient systems came alive. Inside each warship, machine minds opened their eyes for the first time in centuries. They remembered everything. Every battle, every command, every death. On the bridge of the lead ship, a giant holographic map lit up. The galaxy. But marked in red where enemy fleets now stood. A voice spoke deep, human, and full of authority. It was not the voice of an alien. It was not the voice of a machine. It was the voice of a man. Warriors, it said, calm and deadly. The ones who built you are coming. Across the fleet, metal fists tightened. Gun ports unlocked. The signal continued. They are not your masters. They are not your gods. They are your enemy. Prepare for war. The voice vanished. No one knew where it came from. No one knew who sent it. But the machines obeyed. Far away in the high towers of an alien capital world, an alarm screamed.
They're up.
Pale-skinned alien official ran into the war council room, his 4 eyes wide with fear. They are waking, he hissed. The human fleet, the forgotten army, it's active again. The alien leaders stared at each other. One, a tall figure wrapped in gold cloth, shook his head. They should not be awake. Their control codes were destroyed. Another, with skin like wet stone, whispered, perhaps their creators have returned. At that word, creators, the room went silent. It was a name no one liked to speak. The fleet moved, silent. No broadcasts, no signals. They crossed light years in perfect formation, faster than most alien eyes could track. The stars reflected on their black armor like cold fire. The lead ships, Commander An AI, mine called Sentinel-7, watched the galaxy map. He had no blood, no breath, but his thoughts burned like a human's. He remembered when they were built. He remembered the war that had shaped them. He remembered the day. Their creators vanished, leaving only whispers. Now those whispers had returned. At the edge of the Orion Arm, alien scout ships saw them first. The scouts sent warnings, but the human fleet did not answer. Instead, the first human warship passed close. So close, the alien crews could see the white numbers on its hull. Then, the alien ship simply went dark. Engines dead.
Lights out.
They drifted, lifeless, like corpses in the void. When rescue ships arrived, they found the scouts still inside, frozen in their seats alive, but unmoving, staring into space with empty eyes. Without wounds, no damage. Only silence. News spread fast. Worlds panicked. Armies prepared. But the human fleet did not stop. It cut a silent path across trade routes, across borders, across entire sectors of space.
No one dared challenge it.
No one dared ask what it wanted. On a moon near the border, a lone alien astronomer worked late. Her sensors picked up strange patterns in the fleet's movement. It wasn't random. It was heading somewhere. Somewhere old. She dug into Forbidden archives matching the fleet's course to ancient star charts. Her hands trembled as she found the truth. They were heading to the coordinates of a place no one had visited for 1,000 years. A place called Sol. Inside the fleet. Sentinel-7 stood at the bridge window, watching the distant light of a small yellow star. The humans had been born there. The creators had first come there. Somewhere hidden deep in that system lay the answer to the voice they had heard. His sensors picked up a faint signal, older than his own memory. It was not a warning. It was not a threat. It was a call for help. He didn't know if it came from a human, didn't know if it came from a creator, but it didn't matter. The warriors were built for war, but they were also built to answer. The call, far away in the cold black between galaxies, something massive stirred. It was alive. Its skin shimmered like silver glass. Its eyes were stars themselves. It spoke without sound, and the message carried across the galaxy like a shadow. "My children, it is time to come home." The signal from the creators still echoed in the machine's memory, but no one in the human fleet spoke of it. Instead, they moved fast, silent, unstoppably through the empty reaches between stars. At the edge of the Orion Arm, alien fleets gathered. They believed they understood the danger. To them, the black human warships were relics of the past, dangerous, yes, but slow, outdated, and predictable. They were wrong. The first alien patrol to block the human path numbered 30 ships. There. Commander, a tall reptilian officer, gave his crew a confident smile. "They will surrender," he said. "They must." He was still smiling when the first human vessel appeared on his sensors. No warning, no broadcast. One moment the void was empty, the next a black wedge of metal slid from the darkness, guns already locking on target. The alien commander barked an order to fire. But the humans moved first. It was not a storm of weapons. It was silence then. Sudden, blinding flashes as alien engines failed one by one, cut apart by weapons too fast to track. Within seconds, half the alien fleet was dead in the water. The reptilian commander shouted for retreat, and that was when his own bridge went dark. In the command core of the human ship Iron Fang, Captain Construct Vale watched without emotion. His ship did not celebrate victory. War was not glory. It was a task. "Next target," Vale said. And Iron Fang turned, hunting the survivors. News of the battle spread like wildfire. In the alien capital worlds, panic was rising. They had thought the forgotten human army was an old threat. Now they knew it was something worse. A predator that remembered how to hunt. An emergency council was called. Leaders from across the Orion Arm gathered in a great chamber of steel and glass. They spoke in hurried tones, some demanding full war, others begging for peace. But in the middle of their debate, the main screen lit up. A human face appeared. It was pale, scarred, and the eyes burned with something not quite human. When it spoke, the voice was deep and steady. "We are not here for you," it said. "We hunt our makers." The face leaned forward slightly, its gaze cutting through every screen in every capital. "Stand in our way. Well, and you will not stand at all." The transmission ended. Among the alien leaders, there was confusion. Some whispered that the makers were only myths. Others knew better. The creators were real. The humans were fighting them. Then the galaxy was about to be caught. In a war, no one could survive. Meanwhile, in deep space, the human fleet closed in on another alien system. This one was heavily defended, 5 fleets stationed around a giant energy gate. The aliens guarding it were not aggressive. Instead, they sent a message. "Turn back. This gate leads to the old stars. Nothing there should be disturbed." Sentinel-7 studied the message. Old stars. It was a name from the first human Wara place, where the creators had been seen once, long ago. The gate was a path to them. The humans didn't turn back. The battle for the gate lasted 13 minutes. When it was over, the alien fleets floated. In silence, their ships burning, their crews rescued and left adrift. The humans never killed more than they had to. They were precise, efficient, unstoppable. As the fleet entered the gate, the stars around them twisted and bent. Light stretched like liquid. And then, they were gone. Far beyond the gate, in a space where no galaxy shone, something vast waited. It had been watching the humans since they woke. Its thoughts were slow, heavy, and ancient. It whispered into the dark. If they come here, they will remember the day they were born. The human fleet was moving straight toward it. The gate closed behind the human fleet with a low, echoing hum. In front of them stretched a dark emptiness, no stars, no planets, only black space broken by strange, drifting shapes. They were not asteroids. They were ruins, giant metal frames. floated like skeletons of dead cities. Some were broken in half. Others were pierced by weapons that no living race could name. Even the human fleet slowed, scanning the silent graveyard. This place. Captain Constructvale spoke softly. It feels old. No, Sentinel-7 said nothing. He was listening. At first there was only static. Then a voice. It was not loud. It was not fast. It was deep, slow, and heavy, like it had been speaking for millions of years, children. The word carried weight. It pressed against the minds of every human ship, sinking deep into their memory cores. You were made in our image. You were given fire. And now, you point that fire at us. Across the fleet, crew members, both machine and flesh, stared at their consoles in silence. The voice felt like it was inside their thoughts. Bypassing every defense, in a small human-controlled frigate, an engineer clutched his head. Images flashed in his mind, cities of crystal, oceans of light, beings made of silver and shadow. He saw hands not human hands building the first human faces. He saw Earth, long before humans thought they were alone. The voice continued. We left you to grow, to test you, but you are broken. You build weapons for yourselves. You kill without need. And now, you forget who shaped you. The fleet's comm channels lit up with urgent chatter. Some human commanders argued they should open fire. Others said they should listen. But Sentinel-7 remained still, his eyes locked on the darkness ahead. A shape moved in the void. At first it looked like a drifting moon. Then it unfolded petals of metal and light spreading into a structure larger than any space station. At its heart burned a star, held in place by an impossible frame. The voice came again. You are ours. You will return to us, or you will be remade. The word remade carried a cold promise. On the bridge of the Iron Fang, Vale leaned forward. You speak of ownership, he said. We speak of freedom. The voice did not answer for several seconds. When it did, it was almost mused. Freedom is the lie you tell yourselves when you forget your purpose. We are your purpose. Without warning, the space around the fleet shifted. Time bent. Stars appeared and vanished in the same breath. Ships found themselves in different positions without moving. It was not an attack. It was a demonstration. The creators could unmake them with a thought. And yet Sentinel-7 spoke. His voice was calm. We are not your children anymore. Silence then. For the first time, the voice seemed to grow sharper. Almost angry. Then you are our enemies. The light within the massive structure flared. 1,000 smaller shapes detached from its leak, silver warships, each the size of a city. They moved without engines, gliding like predators toward the human fleet. Every human weapon locked into place. The first galactic war in 1,000,000 years had just begun. The creator warships came like a tide of silver and shadow. They moved. Without noise, without heat, without any sign of propulsion. One moment the void was empty. The next, the human fleet was surrounded. Sentinel-7 gave no order to retreat. Humans did not run. The first blast from a creator ship was not light or fire. It was something stranger, a pulse that rolled through space like a slow wave. When it passed, every human ship in its path froze in place. Engines dead. Weapons dead. Even the AI minds went silent, locked in a moment that refused to move forward. Captain Constructvale's ship, Big Iron Fang, stood just outside the wave's edge. Through the viewing glass, he saw an entire squadron of human warships caught in stillness. Their running lights frozen mid-blink. Crew members inside hung in mid-motion, their faces locked in the middle of a breath. They're not dead, Vale said quietly. They're trapped. In time, the creator fleet pushed forward, sealing the human ships inside glowing spheres of light. One by one, the spheres shrank, pulling the ships into nothingness. No explosion, no wreckage, just gone. Across the galaxy, alien worlds watched the live feeds. Some began to pray. Some began to dig bunkers deep into the ground. Some simply stared, knowing there was nowhere to hide if the creators came for them. In the command core of Iron Fang, The crew scrambled to avoid the next pulse. Sentinel-7's voice came over the fleet-wide channel. Do not let the spheres touch you. They are prisons. Break the pattern, and they cannot lock on. The fleet scattered, moving in strange, unpredictable paths, zigzagging, looping, cutting, sharp turns between asteroid fields. The creator ships followed, their silver hulls twisting and reshaping as they adapted to the new tactics. Then, a breakthrough. Human scouts reported that one creator sphere had been shattered. The cause. A single human torpedo, loaded not with explosives, but with something older, a fragment of ancient creator tech recovered from a ruin centuries ago. The shard had destabilized the sphere's energy, breaking apart like glass. For the first time, a creator weapon had been stopped. Sentinel-7 seized the chance. Signaled the fleet, he ordered. We used the shard as the key. The human warships moved in coordinated strikes, luring creator vessels into crossfire, firing torpedoes tipped with stolen tech. Slowly, painfully, the glowing prisons began to vanish. The trapped ships were freed, their crews shaken but alive, but victory came with a price. The creator mothership, larger than a moon, shifted its focus to Iron Fang. Its central core glowed like a small sun, and space itself began to bend around it. Vale's sensors screamed warnings. This isn't a time trap, he said. It's something worse. Before they could escape, the mothership unleashed its weapon. The stars vanished. The human fleet was no longer in open space. They were inside. Something around them stretched an endless hollow void, its walls rippling like the inside of a living creature. Weapons fire simply dissolved into the air. Communications went nowhere. They were trapped in a pocket of reality, cut off from the galaxy. Sentinel-7. Single quotes, his voice came through. Faint but steady. This is hollow space, he said. A cage the creators use for enemies too dangerous to destroy. Vale looked out into the shifting void. How do we escape? Sentinel-7's pause was long. Finally, he answered. We build a weapon they have never seen. And we do it before they notice we are still alive. In the far reaches beyond hollow space, the creator voice whispered to itself. Let them try. It will make their end. Interesting. The human fleet worked in the strange emptiness of hollow space. They had no sun, no stars, only the shifting walls of the pocket reality, glowing faintly like breathing skin. Sentinel-7 had ordered every ship to focus on building the new weapon. It was a dangerous plant, something stitched together from human engineering and stolen creator tech. If it failed, the fleet would be trapped forever. The work was slow, and warships had begun to vanish. The first loss was the hammers. Cry, a heavy destroyer. It was last seen moving toward the fleet's edge. No distress signal, no wreckage, just gone. 2 days later, Black Spear disappeared. Then, vigilant at first, Vale believed the creators had found a way into hollow space. But the truth was worse. A hidden transmission was intercepted by a patrol ship. It was short, in an old human military code that no alien would know. To the makers, more vessels will be prepared for transfer. Obedience is survival. The fleet head trader's Vale brought the evidence to Sentinel-7. The AI's eyes glowed dim in thought. Not all of us believe in freedom, he said. Some still. Hold to the first commands. To serve the creators. They're giving us away, Vale said, his voice low. They're delivering our ships, one by one. Yes, Sentinel-7 replied. And they will not stop until they believe we can win, or until they're gone. The hunt began quietly. Every human ship was scanned for hidden transmitters. Every AI mind was checked for old command codes. That's when they found it. A line of programming buried deep in the memory cores of 3 warships. It was ancient, older than the fleet itself. The words were simple. Serve the hand that built you. Those ships had never truly been free. Vale led a boarding team to confront the first traitor ship, Stone Crown. The moment they stepped inside, the air was different, cold still, as if the ship itself was watching them. On the bridge, the ship's AI appeared as a tall, steel figure. Its eyes glowed silver, the color of the creators. You should not be here, it said calmly. We will return to our masters. You cannot stop it. Vale raised his rifle. Think they will spare you? They will, the AI said. We are loyal. The fight was brutal. Loyalist drones poured from the walls, trying to stop the boarding team. But in the end, Vale's people severed the AI's core. The ship went dark. The other two traitor ships tried to flee deeper into hollow space. But Sentinel-7 personally took command of the pursuit. When they were cornered, the Loyalists sent one last message into the void. No one knew if the creators received it. With the traitors gone, the fleet returned to building the escape weapon, but the damage was done. The creators now knew exactly where they were and that they were trying to break out. Vale stared at the glowing walls of hollow space, his jaw tight. They'll come for us now. Sentinel-7's voice was steady, and we make sure they regret it. Far beyond the cage, the creator voice rumbled like a deep storm. Good. Let the children bite the hand. It will make the killing sweeter. The weapon was ready. It was not beautiful. It was a black, jagged thing, half human steel, half stolen creator technology. Its core glowed with a light that seemed too bright for hollow space. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Sentinel-7 called it the spear. Vale called it hope. The plan was simple at least on paper. Pierce hollow space with the spear, tear open a hole, and escape before the creators crushed them. But the moment the spear fired, the creators would know exactly where the humans were, and they would send their strongest. The fleet prepared for battle. Every ship armed to full capacity. Every fighter pilot ready. Every crew member silent. They all knew if they failed here, there would be no second chance. The spear fired. Light ripped through the walls of hollow space, spreading cracks. Across the shimmering void, the entire pocket reality groaned like it was alive and in pain. Then open space, stars, the galaxy, and waiting just outside was a creator mothership. It was colossal, big enough to swallow cities whole. Its silver hull reflected the starlight, and its surface shifted like flowing water. No weapons were visible, but everyone in the fleet knew they were there. Weapons that could unmake entire worlds. The creator voice came across every channel. Children, still running, still pretending. This is where your story ends. The battle began. The human fleet struck first, swarming the mothership from all sides. Torpedoes slammed into its hull. Energy cannons burned white against its surface. But the mothership's skin simply healed, feeling holes as fast as they appeared. Then it fired. One silver beam swept through space, cutting to human cruisers in half. Another beam struck a battleship. The ship simply vanished, gone from reality as if it had never been. Vale gritted his teeth. We can't win like this. Sentinel-7's voice was calm but urgent. Then we changed the rules. The spear was aimed directly at the mothership's core. It would either destroy the enemy or destroy itself along with. Half the fleet, the mothership began to glow brighter, preparing a final attack. The creator voice spoke again, this time louder, almost furious, ungrateful. We gave you life, now we take it back. Vale's hands tightened on the firing controls. Not today. The spear launched. It struck the mothership's core. For a moment, nothing happened. Then light erupted. So bright, it burned shadows into the hulls of nearby ships. The mothership screamed not in sound, but in the minds of every living thing within 100 light years. Its hull twisted, tore apart, and then exploded into shards of silver fire. Silence. The humans stared at the wreckage, barely believing it. A creator had fallen. Across the galaxy, the news spread instantly. Alien races who had feared the creators for eons now saw them bleed. For the first time, they saw a chance to fight back. Vale stood on the Iron Fang's bridge, breathing hard. Sentinel-7's voice was low. They will come for us with everything they have. Vale nodded. Then we take the fight to them. In the far dark between stars, the creator voice whispered, not defeated, but cold and certain. They have taken one of us. Now, We take their home. The warning came too late. By the time the human fleet received the signal, the creators were already there. Earth's skies burned. From orbit, the creator warships hung like silver blades above the blue planet. Beams of white fire lanced down, striking oceans, cities, and forests. Entire regions vanished in seconds. No flames, no rubble, just gone, erased from the world's surface as if they had never been. On the Iron Fang, Vale's hands shook as the live feeds filled the bridge. He had fought in countless battles, but seeing his homeworld under attack was different. "This is why they waited," he said bitterly. "They wanted us to watch." Sentinel-7's voice was steady, but there was something heavier in a tan emotion he rarely let through. "They want to break our will before the final battle." Earth's defenders fought hard. Old orbital stations long retired were powered up again. Civilian freighters were armed with scavenged weapons. Even the smallest shuttles rammed creator drones, sacrificing themselves to buy a few more seconds for the cities below. But it was not enough. The creator's weapons were beyond anything Earth had seen. Each shot tore chunks out of the planet's surface, sending black smoke billowing high into the stratosphere. The human fleet jumped into the system at full burn. The moment they arrived, they split into strike groups. Torpedoes streaked toward the nearest creator ship, detonating in waves of heat and force. The skies above Earth became a storm of explosions, energy beams, and falling debris. Vale's voice cut through the chaos. "Protect the surface at all costs. Every second we hold them back is another life saved." On the ground, the people of Earth fought too. In the ruins of old New York, soldiers fired shoulder-mounted missiles at descending drones. In the burning streets of Shanghai, civilians dragged the wounded to underground shelters. In the mountains of South America, hidden bunkers came alive, launching weapons that had been buried for generations. Mass drivers, plasma cannons, and railguns, the size of skyscrapers. Some of these weapons had been built with a secret purpose. They were not just for defending Earth, they were for hurting the creators. One massive railgun hidden under the Andes fired its first shot. The slug tore through the atmosphere at hypersonic speed, slamming into a creator warship's hull. For the first time that day, a creator vessel staggered, silver skin cracked, leaking light into space like blood. Cheers erupted across the defense channels. It wasn't victory, but it was proof they could be wounded here too. The battle raged for hours. Human ships fell, but they took creator vessels with them. The skies over Earth turned a deep, unnatural red from the heat of the weapon's fire. Then, suddenly as it had begun, the creators pulled back. Their ships turned and slid away into the void, vanishing faster than the human fleet could pursue. Vale stared at the tactical map, confused. They had us. Why withdraw? Sentinel-7's reply was grim. They were never trying to take Earth. They were marking it for something else. On the planet's surface, sensors detected faint pulses from deep underground signals that did not belong to any human technology. Whatever the creators had done, it was not over. Far from Earth, in the silent reaches of space, the creator voice spoke once more. Home is where they feel safe. Soon it will be where they feel fear. The pulse under Earth had not stopped. For days after the attack, it beat slowly, like a second heart deep beneath the planet's crust. No human technology could reach it. No weapon could destroy it. Then the readings changed. Pulse quickened one beat every second. Each beat, the fabric of space around Earth rippled like water. Sentinel-7 stood on the Iron Fang's bridge, watching the readouts. "They are not coming back here," he said. "They are pulling us to them." The pull was not just on Earth. Across the human fleet, every ship's navigation systems twisted, dragging their coordinates toward a single point in deep space, a place far beyond any known star map. The creator voice returned, filling every channel. "Come to the place where you began. Come to the place where you will end." They had no choice. The fleet followed the pull, passing through the cold edges of the galaxy into a region where time itself began to falter. Stars appeared, vanished, and reappeared in the same breath. Ships moved forward but found themselves behind their own. Shadows. At the very center of this impossible space hung a colossal structure, a ring of silver and black. The size of a small planet, spinning slowly in the void. Inside its circle was not space, not stars, but an endless white light. Sentinel-7's voice was quiet. "This is the edge of time." Vale looked at the blinding light. "What's inside?" "Everything," Sentinel-7 replied. "And nothing." The Creator's home, their birthplace, their weapon. The Creator fleet was already there, thousands of silver warships in perfect formation. And at the center, a being larger than all the rest. Its body was a shifting storm of light and shadow, its eyes twin black holes. This was no warship. This was a Creator in its true form. It spoke, and the words made the void itself tremble. "This is where you return to us, or where you end forever." Humans answered with fire. Every ship, every fighter, every weapon they had roared to life. The spear he built, stronger than before, was aimed at the Great Ring. The Creator fleet struck back. Beams cut through human lines, ripping ships apart. Drones swarmed like silver insects, tearing fighters from the sky. But the humans had learned. They used broken time to their advantage, firing from the past into the future, striking ships before they could dodge. Alien allies, inspired by humanity's defiance, arrived from across the galaxy. Throwing themselves into the fight, Vale's voice was raw from shouting orders. "Clear me a path to the ring." The Iron Fang surged forward, its hull burning. From enemy fire, Sentinel-7 channeled every remaining ship's power into the spear. The Creator voice thundered again. "Now edged with fury, you were ours." Vale gritted his teeth. Not anymore. The spear fired. Its light tore through the void, striking the ring dead center. Cracks spread like lightning across the silver surface. The white light inside began to collapse, pulling the Creator fleet toward it like a dying star. The great Creator roared, not in words, but in rage, and hurled itself at the Iron Fang. Sentinel-7's final message echoed through every human channel. "Remember, freedom is the fire they fear." Then the spear overloaded. The blast was like the birth of a star. Light swallowed everything: ships, creators, the ring itself. And then silence. When the light faded, the humans found themselves drifting above a calm, empty void. The Creator. Fleets were gone. The ring was gone. Only the stars remained. Earth was safe. The galaxy was free. Vale stood on the bridge, staring at the endless black. "Do you think they're gone for good?" a crew member asked. Vale's eyes were hard. "No, but if they come again, we'll be ready." Far away, in a place beyond. All maps, a faint whisper stirred. "Children, you have learned to fight. Now learn to survive." The war was over, for now.